Number 15. Malaysia's 272-step Sacred Giant. Just 13 kilometers north of downtown Kuala Lumpur, a colossal golden figure rises beside one of Malaysia's most recognizable stairways. This is Batu Caves, a major Hindu pilgrimage site built around limestone formations believed to be roughly 400 million years old. To reach the main temple cave, visitors climb exactly 272 steps, transformed in 2018 into the vivid rainbow staircase seen in countless photographs today. But the stairs are only the beginning. Standing at their base is the towering statue of Lord Murugan, the Hindu deity to whom the site is dedicated. Completed in 2006, the gold-painted monument rises approximately 42.7 meters, or 140 feet, making it the tallest Murugan statue in Malaysia, and one of the tallest of its kind in the world. At the top, the landscape changes dramatically. The staircase leads into an enormous limestone chamber where Hindu shrines and temples sit beneath soaring natural ceilings, illuminated by daylight, entering through openings in the rock. Batu Caves became established as a Hindu place of worship in the late 19th century, and today serves as a major center for Thaipusam, when enormous crowds of devotees gather here. Number 14. The world's tallest Twin Towers. Rising above the heart of Kuala Lumpur, the Petronas Twin Towers remain the tallest twin towers on Earth. Each tower reaches approximately 452 meters, or 1,083 feet, and contains 88 stories. When completed in the 1990s, they became a dramatic symbol of Malaysia's transformation into a modern, globally connected nation. Designed by architect Cesar Pelli, the towers combine stainless steel and glass with geometric forms, influenced by Islamic design. But their most famous feature hangs between them. At levels 41 and 42, a double-decker skybridge stretches 58.4 meters between the towers, suspended about 170 meters above the ground. Remarkably, it is not rigidly attached at both ends, allowing the structure to accommodate movement caused by high winds. The journey can continue to the observation deck on level 86, more than 370 meters above Kuala Lumpur. From here, highways, neighborhoods, and skyscrapers spread across the horizon. Decades after their completion, the towers remain instantly recognizable, not simply as engineering giants, but as a powerful architectural signature of modern Malaysia. Number 13. A giant world beneath Borneo. Deep beneath the rainforest of Malaysian Borneo lies a landscape so enormous that the world above can feel almost ordinary by comparison. Gunung Mulu National Park in Sarawak protects roughly 52,265 hectares of tropical rainforest, towering limestone pinnacles, underground rivers, and one of the planet's most extraordinary networks of caves. UNESCO added the park to the World Heritage List in 2000 for its exceptional geology, biodiversity, and karst formations. Among its underground giants is Sarawak Chamber, a cavern measuring roughly 600 meters long, 415 meters wide, and about 80 meters high, large enough to rank among the world's biggest known cave chambers by area. Nearby, Deer Cave contains an immense passage where visitors can walk beneath ceilings, rising dramatically overhead. But Mulu is not simply about size. Water has shaped this limestone landscape over millions of years, carving passages, chambers, cliffs, and bizarre rock formations beneath an ancient rainforest. Above ground, thousands of species inhabit the surrounding ecosystem. Below it, darkness conceals another Borneo entirely, a natural world still shaped by water, stone, and deep geological time. Number 12. Malaysia's king of fruit obsession. In Malaysia, durian is far more than an unusual tropical fruit. During durian season, roadside stalls, markets, farms, and specialty shops become gathering places where people compare varieties, debate flavors, and eat freshly opened fruit right at the table. Its powerful aroma is so distinctive that durian is restricted in many hotels and public transportation systems. Yet for devoted fans, that same fruit is known proudly as the king of fruits. Malaysia grows numerous durian varieties, but Musang King has become one of the most famous. Registered locally as D197, it is prized for its golden yellow flesh, creamy texture, and complex combination of sweetness and bitterness. Other popular varieties include D24 and Blackthorn, each with its own loyal following and flavor profile. The experience can be surprising for first-time visitors. Crack open the thorn-covered shell and the scent arrives immediately, while inside are soft, custard-like segments, unlike almost any familiar fruit. Some travelers struggle with the aroma, others become instant fans. That divide is part of the fascination. Here, durian is agriculture, business, social ritual, and culinary identity wrapped inside one intimidating shell. Number 11. One country split in two. Look at Malaysia on a map, and something immediately seems unusual. The country is divided into two major regions, separated by the South China Sea. Peninsular Malaysia stretches south from mainland Southeast Asia, while East Malaysia lies hundreds of kilometers away on the island of Borneo. Together, these two sides form a nation covering roughly 330,000 square kilometers. The peninsula contains 11 states and 2 federal territories, including Kuala Lumpur and Putrajaya, and is home to most of Malaysia's population. Across the sea, East Malaysia includes the much larger states of Sabah and Sarawak, along with the federal territory of Labuan. Sabah and Sarawak alone account for more than half of Malaysia's total land area, yet they are far less densely populated than the peninsula. This separation creates extraordinary contrasts. Kuala Lumpur is defined by expressways, rail networks, and a skyline of modern towers. Borneo offers vast rainforests, major river systems, mountains, coastal cities, and extraordinary biodiversity. The two regions may be separated by a sea, but politically, economically, and culturally, they form one remarkably diverse Malaysia. Number 10. Malaysia's king changes every 5 years. Malaysia has a king, but the crown does not simply pass from parent to child in the way many people expect. Instead, the country operates a distinctive system of elective constitutional monarchy. The federal head of state, known as the Yang di-Pertuan Agong, is elected for a 5-year term by the Conference of Rulers, primarily from among the hereditary rulers of Malaysia's 9 royal states. The system has existed since independence in 1957 and follows an established rotation shaped by constitutional rules, seniority, and decisions made by the rulers themselves. Malaysia has 13 states, but only 9 have hereditary royal rulers eligible within this system. The other 4 states, Penang, Malacca, Sabah, and Sarawak, have appointed governors rather than hereditary monarchs. Malaysia's current Yang di-Pertuan Agong is Sultan Ibrahim of Johor, who began his 5-year reign on January 31, 2024. As a constitutional monarch, the king performs major ceremonial and constitutional duties, while Malaysia's elected government handles day-to-day administration. It is an extraordinary arrangement. Ancient royal institutions operating inside a modern parliamentary democracy, with the federal throne changing hands rather than belonging permanently to a single royal dynasty. Number 9. Malaysia's giant hidden flower. Deep in Malaysia's rainforests, something extraordinary can appear directly from the forest floor. Rafflesia, a parasitic plant famous for producing some of the largest individual flowers on Earth. Several Rafflesia species occur in Malaysia, particularly in the forests of Sabah and Sarawak on Borneo, as well as parts of peninsular Malaysia. Unlike an ordinary plant, Rafflesia has no visible leaves, stems, or roots of its own. It lives inside a host vine for much of its life, hidden from view until a bud eventually emerges. Depending on the species, a mature flower can grow close to a meter across, creating a spectacular sight against the dark forest floor. Finding one in bloom, however, requires luck. The developing bud can take months to mature, while the spectacular flower itself remains open for only several days before beginning to deteriorate. Rafflesia is also known for an unusual odor that attracts flies involved in pollination. That brief flowering window makes every encounter unpredictable. Visitors can travel deep into the rainforest and see nothing, or arrive at exactly the right moment to witness one of Southeast Asia's strangest botanical wonders. Number 8. Malaysia eats across cultures. In Malaysia, one street can feel like a journey through several culinary worlds. Malay, Chinese, Indian, Peranakan, and other regional traditions have interacted for generations, creating a food culture where breakfast, lunch, and late-night meals can tell the story of the country better than many museums. Start with nasi lemak, widely regarded as Malaysia's national dish. Fragrant rice cooked with coconut milk and pandan, traditionally served with sambal, anchovies, peanuts, cucumber, and egg. Then there is roti canai, a flaky flatbread commonly eaten with dal or curry, and satay, grilled skewers accompanied by a rich peanut sauce. The variety expands dramatically at hawker centers and night markets. You might encounter char kway teow, Hainanese chicken rice, curry laksa, wonton noodles, and countless regional specialties within a short walk. Then there are mamak eateries, famous for casual meals that can stretch late into the night. Here, teh tarik is poured dramatically between containers to create its signature frothy top. Malaysia's food scene is not simply about mixing cuisines. It reflects centuries of migration, trade, adaptation, and communities sharing the same streets, while preserving distinct culinary identities. Number 7. Ramadan transforms Malaysia after sunset. During Ramadan, parts of Malaysia undergo a remarkable daily transformation. Muslims fast from dawn until sunset, and by late afternoon, temporary Ramadan bazaars begin filling neighborhoods with rows of vendors preparing food for iftar, the evening meal that breaks the fast. What looks quiet earlier in the day can suddenly become one of the liveliest places in the city. These bazaars appear across the country, from Kuala Lumpur and Putrajaya to towns in Penang, Johor, Sabah, and Sarawak. Tables overflow with grilled satay, murtabak, nasi kerabu, ayam persik, rice dishes, traditional kuih, fresh drinks, and regional specialties that vary from one state to another. But the experience is about more than food. Families and friends arrive before sunset to choose dishes and take them home, while vendors often begin preparing hours earlier. As the time for iftar approaches, the atmosphere shifts from busy shopping to anticipation. Ramadan follows the Islamic lunar calendar, so its dates move earlier each solar year. For travelers, these bazaars offer a respectful glimpse into how faith, family, commerce, and Malaysia's enormous culinary diversity come together during one important month. Number 6. Four Faiths, One Historic Street. In Malaysia, centuries of migration and trade can sometimes be seen within a single walk. In Georgetown and Melaka, mosques, Hindu temples, Chinese temples, churches, and colonial-era buildings stand remarkably close together, revealing how different communities helped shape these historic cities. One of the clearest examples is Jalan Masjid Kapitan Keling in Georgetown, often associated with the idea of a street of harmony. Along and near this corridor are the Kapitan Keling Mosque, the Hindu Sri Mahamariamman Temple, the Chinese Goddess of Mercy Temple, and St. George's Church, whose origins trace back to the early 19th century. Farther south, Malacca tells another layered story. Dutch-era Christ Church dominates the famous Red Square, while nearby streets contain mosques and Chinese and Hindu places of worship alongside historic shophouses. This cultural landscape is one reason Melaka and Georgetown were jointly inscribed as a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 2008. Their architecture records centuries of exchange between Malay, Chinese, Indian, European, and other communities. Here, Malaysia's diversity is not an abstract idea. It is built directly into the streets. Number 5. This city is living history. Georgetown does not feel like a historic city frozen behind museum glass. In the UNESCO-listed heart of Penang's capital, centuries-old shophouses still contain cafes, workshops, homes, restaurants, and family businesses, while temples, clan houses, mosques, and churches remain active parts of everyday life. Founded as a British trading settlement in 1786, Georgetown grew into an important port, linking Southeast Asia with China, India, Europe, and beyond. That history survives in its architecture and street plan. Rows of narrow shophouses display Chinese, Malay, Indian, and European influences, while landmarks such as Ku Kongsi and the Blue Mansion reveal the wealth and ambitions of earlier communities. Then there is the city's newer visual identity. Since 2012, murals and interactive street art have transformed walls and alleyways into some of Malaysia's most photographed urban scenes. But Georgetown becomes even more vivid after following the smell of its hawker stalls. Char Kway Teow, Asam Laksa, Hokkien Mee, and other Penang specialties turn the historic streets into a culinary map. UNESCO recognition arrived in 2008. Yet the real attraction is that this heritage district still functions as a living city. Number 4. Malaysia changes climate in hours. Leave the heat and traffic of Kuala Lumpur behind, and within a few hours, the scenery can change almost completely. More than 1,000 meters above sea level in the mountains of Pahang lies Cameron Highlands, Malaysia's largest and best-known highland resort region, where cooler temperatures, rolling farmland, forested slopes, and blankets of mist replace the tropical intensity of the lowlands. The landscape is famous for tea. Commercial tea cultivation expanded here during the British colonial era, and today vast plantations cover hillsides in carefully shaped rows. BOH, established in 1929, became Malaysia's largest tea producer, turning the highlands into one of the country's most recognizable agricultural landscapes. Elevation makes the difference. Settlements and attractions across Cameron Highlands generally sit around 1,100 to more than 1,600 meters above sea level, creating conditions suitable for tea, strawberries, flowers, and temperate vegetables. Temperatures are often noticeably cooler than Kuala Lumpur. The contrast is cinematic. Leave a metropolis of skyscrapers, expressways, and tropical humidity, then arrive among tea-covered mountains and drifting clouds the same day. Few transitions reveal Malaysia's geographic variety quite as dramatically. Number 3. Malaysia's wild side on Borneo. Fly east from Kuala Lumpur across the South China Sea, and Malaysia begins to look dramatically different. On the island of Borneo lie Sabah and Sarawak, two states that together cover more than half of Malaysia's land area. Here, high-rise skylines give way to immense river systems, tropical forests, rugged mountains, coastal settlements, and some of Southeast Asia's richest ecosystems. Sabah is home to Mount Kinabalu, Malaysia's highest mountain at 4,095.2 meters, while its forests shelter orangutans, proboscis monkeys, hornbills, and Bornean pygmy elephants. Sarawak stretches across an even larger territory, shaped by major rivers, limestone landscapes, caves, rainforests, and cities such as Kuching. But Borneo's story is also deeply human. Sabah and Sarawak are home to dozens of indigenous ethnic communities, including Iban, Bidayu, Kadazan Dusun, Bajau, and many others, each with distinct languages, histories, and traditions. Longhouses still exist in parts of Sarawak, but contemporary indigenous life also extends through universities, businesses, government, and modern cities. Number 2. Malaysia has 5 UNESCO wonders. Malaysia's story reaches far beyond skyscrapers and tropical beaches. As of 2026, the country has 5 properties inscribed on UNESCO's World Heritage List, spanning extraordinary rainforest ecosystems, historic trading cities, archaeology, and evidence of human life stretching deep into the past. Gunung Mulu National Park in Sarawak protects spectacular limestone karst and enormous cave systems, while Kinabalu Park in Sabah surrounds Mount Kinabalu and contains exceptional biodiversity across dramatic changes in elevation. Both entered the World Heritage List in 2000. In 2008, Melaka and Georgetown were jointly recognized for their remarkable history as trading cities shaped by centuries of cultural exchange. The archaeological heritage of the Lenggong Valley followed in 2012, preserving important evidence of early human history in peninsular Malaysia. Then, in 2024, UNESCO added the archaeological heritage of Naya National Park's Caves Complex in Sarawak. Archaeological evidence here documents an exceptionally long record of human interaction with the rainforest. Number 1. Malaysia has no single face. After traveling across Malaysia, one truth becomes impossible to ignore. This country cannot be captured by a single image. Kuala Lumpur rises with futuristic skyscrapers, yet just beyond the city stands Batu Caves, where centuries of Hindu tradition meet limestone hundreds of millions of years old. Travel north and historic streets reveal layers of Malay, Chinese, Indian, and European influence. Climb into Cameron Highlands, and tropical heat gives way to mist-covered tea fields. Then cross the South China Sea, and Malaysia transforms again. Sabah and Sarawak occupy more than half of the nation's land area, bringing vast rainforests, mountains, caves, rivers, wildlife, and dozens of indigenous communities into the story. Even Malaysia's 5 UNESCO World Heritage properties tell completely different stories, from the enormous caves of Gunung Mulu and biodiversity of Kinabalu to the trading history of Malacca and Georgetown and the archaeological landscapes of Lenggong and Naya. That may be Malaysia's greatest surprise. Modern and ancient, urban and wild, familiar and unexpected do not exist in separate worlds here. They overlap. Malaysia has no single face because its identity was never built from just one story. Malaysia is a country of contrasts. Ancient rainforests and futuristic skylines, sacred traditions and modern cities, all connected by an extraordinary mix of cultures. And even after these 15 discoveries, there is still much more to explore. If you enjoyed this journey, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who loves discovering the world. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next adventure.